5 amazing places and phenomena that science cannot fully explain. Pennsylvania's Ringing Stones. In Bucks County, Pennsylvania's Ringing Rocks Park, huge boulders lay on an area of 128 acres, a unique natural phenomenon. If you hit any stone with a hammer, it will ring. The sound is so unexpected that the stones seem to be metal. American settlers heard about the stones from the Indians in the 1700s. The ringing rocks in Bucks County vary in shape and size from small to huge. Boulders weighing several tons. They have a very unusual color, different from other rocks, which are made of the same material, but unlike these, they are silent. But the most mysterious of these rocks are small depressions in the form of saucers, or strange uneven channels, the inlets of which are located on side and bottom surfaces. In 1890, an inventive musician, J.G. Ott, gave a concert in the US state of Pennsylvania. It seems that there should not have been anything special in this, if not for one circumstance. Ott played on stones collected in ringing rocks. The strange phenomenon has baffled scientists and geologists for many years. Several experiments were carried out on the stones, but the natural phenomenon remained unclear. In 1965, scientists decided to uncover these secrets using boulders from the same field as Ott. After crushing the stones into small pieces, they studied them under a microscope. After they conducted research, they came to the conclusion that the ringing stones acquired their properties due to internal stresses that arose as a result of their periodic stay in wet and dry conditions. Also, other scientists disagree with these findings. They claim that some stones continued to ring after being submerged in water. In addition, of the boulders in the sun, only a third of them rang. Baigong's pipes. For the first time, publicly available information about the Baigong pipes appeared in June 2002. One of the Chinese newspapers published a report telling that a find was made, allegedly calling into question the entire human history. A series of publications that followed described the found pipes as the remains of alien structures, which became a sensation. The experts concluded that the main constituent of the sample is iron dioxide mixed with silicon dioxide and calcium oxide. 8% of the composition is of unexplained origin. The age of the anomalous find was estimated at 5,000 years. This period of history goes far beyond the Iron Age. One of the versions says that the Baigun pipes are the remains of an unknown structure built by some inhuman, highly developed civilization. The Baigun pipes were subjected to detailed study, which made it possible to reliably establish that not only aliens but also humans were not involved in their creation. Isotopic analysis of the material showed that there is nothing extraterrestrial in it, and microstructural, that they were not made by human hands. Samples of pipe material taken at a distance from the rock surface, that is, from places that excluded weathering, revealed the presence of plant remains that have turned into coal. Long time ago, trees grew at this place, subsequently heaped up with sedimentary rocks. As the wood degenerated, the water rich in iron penetrated through the natural cavity between the tree and the species, gradually enclosing it in a natural iron shell. Further, when erosion opened the buried trees, pipes, and in fact the remains of trunks and branches, came to the surface. The coal, which the trees turned into during this time, weathered in their surface part, and in the rocky ground it was preserved and was discovered. The events took place millions of years ago. This means that previous estimates of pipe age were too young. The mysterious lights of the Hessdalen Valley. The oldest inhabitants of the Hessdalen Valley assumed that the mysterious phenomena in the sky over Hessdalen were also noted before the Second World War, but it wasn't particularly important. And since the end of 1981, lights in Hessdal have become more often observed and people have become overwhelmed. The magical lights of the Hessdalen Valley were interesting for ufology from Sweden and Norway. According to the first observations, the researchers found out that all the lights can be divided into 3 types. The first type included short-term, small, wide, or deep flares, which could appear in the sky, wherever. The second type is the yellow or yellowish-white lights that were observed over the roofs of houses. They sometimes could hang motionlessly in one place for about an hour and then slowly moved away from Hesdalen. Sometimes the yellow lights could move at a high speed. With help of the radar, the speed was once fixed at 8,500 meters per second. The main direction of the flare was fixed from north to south. There were also lights, which are located at the same distance from each other. It was very often two white or yellow round lights with a red edge. The unique boiling river in the world. Mayantuyaco River flows through Peru. Local Indians gave it a different name, Shanay-Timpishka, which translates as warmed by the heat of the sun. The river flows in the rainforest zone of the Amazon water basin. By geographic standards, it is very tiny. Its length does not exceed 6,400 meters. The maximum depth here is no more than 6 meters. The maximum width of the river is 25 meters. The water temperature here is different, depending on the section of the river, from 45 to 100 degrees Celsius. The average temperature is 86 degrees. There is no vegetation at all in the river, and if you put your hand there, you will immediately get a hard burn. Animals that fall there die instantly. Researchers still cannot understand the reasons why the water in the river is so hot. There are no thermal springs or volcanoes here. The nearest volcano is located about 650 kilometers from the river. People heard about this amazing river only in the 19th century, but the official opening of the river took place in 2011. The researcher Andrea Rousseau, a Peruvian by nationality, told the world about it. Amazing thing is that the source of the river is cold. But as it moves, the water increases its temperature. According to one version, the water of the river here mixes with the waters of hot underground springs. Bimini Submarine Road, traces of an unknown civilization or the remnants of Atlantis. Not far from the Bahamas, at a depth of 3 to 9 meters, a truly unique historical artifact was discovered, folded in the form of huge blocks of granite. This structure, called the Bimini Underwater Road, has been the main mystery not only for local residents and researchers, but even for mystics and psychics for several decades. The total length of this road to nowhere is almost 500 meters, and it is 90 meters wide. Moreover, it was built stacked of stone slabs up to 6 meters in length. This huge mystery was first discovered on September 2nd, 1968, by a group of divers who were making scheduled dives near the island of North Bimini. The analysis showed that the composition of the stone includes siliceous shale and limestone. There were very courageous researchers. They said that this was not a stone, but polymer concrete of unknown composition, and these breeds are not found near the Bahamas. In addition, tongue piles were found on some of the stones, joints of stones with special bridges, and the lifted samples told that the age of these stones reaches 15,000 years. Still, not a single expedition has managed to get to the bottom of these blocks. But in 2003-2004, a group led by G. Lit carried out successful excavations, and they managed to establish that behind one row of stone slabs, they found two, and behind it, 3 rows of the same slabs, but much better preserved and having a strictly rectangular shape. This immediately led to the suggestion that this Bimini road is in fact a wall. And the use of modern equipment also made it possible to detect voids and the presence of metal under the thickness of stones. That further strengthened the position of the supporters of the artificial origin of the road, the wall. In addition, this place is simply shrouded in an aura of mysticism. So, in 1919, American divers observed a luminous triangular object easily moved underwater, and then abruptly left the water and disappeared into the air. Already in 1998, a French expedition for a long time observed a strange glow with clearly defined boundaries near the underwater road. One thing is clear for sure, that this historical object is still one of the main mysteries of our history. It is possible that these are really the remains of a long-lost Atlantis, or maybe this is a trace of a still unknown civilization of the past. Thank you very much for watching our video. Hope you liked it. Don't forget to click on thumbs up to motivate us more and more.